Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, so today we're trying to cut through the noise a bit. We want to bring you a real shortcut, something potent for mastering clear and, truly confident English speech. No more sort of fumbling for words or feeling misunderstood. We're really zeroing in on things you can use immediately, actionable insights.
Exactly. And this deep dive is really custom tailored. We want to equip you with the precise tools you actually need. We're not just talking about, abstract ideas here. We're breaking down real everyday scenarios so you can hopefully apply these principles pretty much straight away.
Right. And our source material for this deep dive comes from these really invaluable excerpts. It's Speaking English Clearly, Daily Practice by Emma and Jake. And they put together this fantastic resource, it seems, that really focuses on building that clear, confident speech. Uses short, kind of real-life conversations.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating, I think, is their core idea, their premise. It's something many of us maybe overlook. Emma and Jake, they really stress that speaking clearly, well, it's just far more powerful, much more effective than simply speaking fast. And that's not just like a preference. They position it as a foundational principle. It's about impact, not just speed.
That makes perfect sense, actually. Impact over speed. So what you can expect from this deep dive, then, is really a guided exploration. We'll look at the specific techniques, common phrases, the natural rhythms that they demonstrate in their material. It's kind of designed to train both your ears and your voice, giving you that blueprint for, well, genuine fluency.
And it's not just about rate memorization, or just repeating lines over and over. It's really about understanding the subtle mechanics, the how to sound natural, how to sound confident, making sure your message actually lands exactly as you intend it to, every time.
Okay. So let's unpack this core idea then. Clarity over speed. Emma and Jake, they start with those foundational friendly chats, right?
Yeah.
Like, think about the simple hi. How was your day? Moments. They don't just give you the words. They seem to model a calm, easy tone. Why is that specific vocal quality so crucial right from the beginning?
Well, what's really crucial there is their focus on something called prosody, which is basically the melody and rhythm of your speech, the music of it. They emphasize using a neutral pitch, generally, and a relaxed, even delivery. They show how a steady vocal line, rather than one that's all hurried or jumping up and down, immediately communicates confidence. It's really about being understood not just by your words, but by your whole vocal presence and the feeling you convey, genuinely.
That emphasis on tone and prosody is really interesting. So, okay, once you're maybe comfortable with those first greetings, Emma and Jake seem to gently guide you into more routine stuff, like talking about daily habits. I usually wake up at 7, or do you drink coffee? Simple things. They suggest speaking each sentence slowly first, and then picking up the pace. How does that iterative approach, how does that build fluency while keeping the clarity?
Yeah, if you connect it to the bigger picture, it's almost like building muscle memory. Like for a musician or maybe an athlete. By starting slowly, you're basically training your vocal cords, your tongue, your lips, training them to form the sounds correctly, consistently. Then, when you speed up a bit, those correct formations, they're already kind of ingrained. It makes precision feel more natural. You're prioritizing getting the articulation right first, and then letting the speed follow, well, organically.
Right. Articulation first, speed second. Got it. Now, beyond just daily routines, another area Emma and Jake focus on for building confidence is talking about your job or your interests. Sentences like, what do you do? Or, I work as a graphic designer. Do you like it? What kind of unique challenges did they spot here, and how do they suggest you overcome them?
Well, when you're tackling something like talking about your job, which, let's face it, can often feel a bit high stakes, Emma and Jake really emphasize the importance of deliberate enunciation, making each sound clear. It's definitely not about how quickly you can just blurt out your job title. Instead, it's about making each word distinct, making sure your profession, maybe your passion too, comes across with precision, professionalism. Because rushing, ironically, can sometimes make you sound less certain, even if you know exactly what you're talking about.
That makes sense. Rushing undermines the confidence. And, okay, what about really practical scenarios, like asking for directions? Excuse me, where's the bus stop? Or maybe, is there a pharmacy nearby? We've all been there, right? Feeling a bit hesitant sometimes. What's Emma and Jake's core advice for those interactions?
Yeah, this is where vocal projection really comes into play. Or just speaking up. Emma and Jake explicitly advise against whispering. mumbling your question. You need to speak with enough volume, enough clarity, so your question actually reaches the listener without them having to strain. It's kind of about owning your space, owning your request. A clear, audible voice signals a certain, well, not exactly authority, but certainty. Even when asking a simple question, it ensures you expect to be understood and that your question is perfectly valid.
Yeah, owning the request. I like that. Makes sense for practical things like navigation. Now, shifting gears just a little bit, they also get into expressing preferences or things you like. I like watching movies, those sorts of exchanges. How do Emma and Jake guide listeners to sound, well, natural and engaging in these more personal chats?
What's really fascinating here, I think, is the reminder that language it's not just data transfer, right? It's an expression of emotion, of personality. So they emphasize speaking with feeling, not like some kind of monotone machine or robot. Your intonation pattern is, the rise and fall of your voice, they matter just as much as the actual words you use. A natural, clear tone, but one that's infused with genuine expression that makes you way more engaging, more approachable. And that strengthens the connection you make in any conversation. It's about letting your voice actually reflect your interest.
Speaking with feeling, not like a robot.
Okay.
And finally, let's look at one that can feel tricky sometimes. Making plans. Simple phrases, right? Are you free this evening? Want to grab dinner? But the simplicity sometimes hides these subtle challenges in getting that natural conversational flow right. How do Emma and Jake break this down?
Yeah, the simplicity of planning, it does kind of hide the subtle challenges of making it sound natural, doesn't it? Emma and Jake, they break down how specific intonation patterns and also linking sounds between words, how these things can make your invitation sound really effortless and genuinely engaging, rather than sounding stiff or maybe unclear. For instance, that slight upward inflection on dinner, it signals an inviting question, not just a flat statement. Practicing these little nuances, first slowly, like they suggest, and then at a more natural pace, help you sound truly conversational and confident, especially when you're the one initiating plans.
Right, those little details make a big difference in sounding natural. So, okay, pulling this all together, what does this all mean for you, the listener, who's looking to really master clear, confident English?
Well, if we synthesize Emma and Jake's most potent advice, it really boils down to this: the real power of fluency. It isn't just about speaking fast, it's about being consistently understood and projecting this sense of unshakable confidence. So prioritize deliberate articulation, a controlled, unhurried pace. Put that ahead of raw speed. Train your ear to notice that calm, natural tone they model, and then practice replicating that even steady delivery yourself. You need to build that vocal muscle memory. Start slowly with new phrases, then gradually increase your pace, but always, always maintain the precision. And remember, your voice is this incredible, powerful tool for connection. So speak with authentic feeling. Let your tone, your intonation convey your message just as much as your words do. Cultivate that vocal presence. Avoid a hesitant whisper. Project your voice with a natural, clear resonance. And try to integrate English into your daily routine, even if it's just for 10 minutes, seriously. Whether that's talking to yourself, engaging with friends, maybe practicing in front of a mirror. It sounds silly, but it works. Every single opportunity you take to speak and listen actively strengthens your fluency. Oh, and one simple tip they mention, often overlooked. Try putting a slight smile on your face while you speak. It genuinely can make your English sound more inviting, more friendly.
That's a really powerful distillation. Some great actionable takeaways there. Ultimately, maybe it all boils down to this final thought for you to consider. How might embracing the power of clear, confident communication, really focusing on that clarity rather than just chasing fast speech, how might that fundamentally change the way you connect with other people? And how might it change how you achieve your goals, really, in any aspect of your life? Something to ponder, perhaps, until our next deep dive.